Long-term effects of exercise. Respiratory system training effects. Increase in oxygen delivered to the body and carbon dioxide is removed from the body. Increase in minute ventilation volume gas inhaled or exhaled from a person's lungs per minute. Increase in strength in the respiratory muscles. Increased number of vital capacity, amount of air that can be forcibly exhaled after breathing in as soon as possible. Increased number of alveoli, which enhances the effectiveness of gaseous exchange. Increased strength of diaphragm, internal and external intercostal muscles. Muscular system hypertrophy. Slow twitch fibres increase in size due to aerobic training, so rugby players will encounter this a lot with all the high intensity training they do. Hypertrophy's most common occurrence is when after playing sport they increase by 22%, which will help you run longer. Increase in tendon strength. This helps rugby players as they are stronger tendons attach muscle to bone. They're less likely to get an injury as the tendons are stronger and more flexible. Increase in myoglobin stores. This is a substance in the muscle that takes oxygen to mitochondria. Aerobic training is a good way to increase your myoglobin by up to 80%. The more myoglobin you have, the better, because it means the more oxygen can be transported. It will also improve the efficiency of your aerobic energy. Increased number of mitochondria. Aerobic energy increases the number and the size of the mitochondria by about 40% to 100%. They are the basis of aerobic output system. The more mitochondria you have, the more energy you could create, which will benefit the rugby players as they can train for longer and higher intensity. Buffering capacity. This is the body's ability to withstand lactic acid, so in a rugby match players can buffer the lactic acid and perform at a higher intensity for a longer period of time to gain an advantage of the opposing team. Glycolytic capacity is the body's ability to break down glycogen stores more quickly. In rugby, this will use up the energy very quickly because in training the players run around, therefore they use up a lot of energy which would need to be replaced. The body is also better at utilising the fat stores to use as energy. The increase in calcium for bone strength. Osteoporosis, which is brittle bones. Weight-bearing activities will help improve this, like the Smith machine. Strengthening bones and ligaments prevents wear and tear. Benefits the rugby players that will help them in a rugby tackle and benefit their muscles by making them stronger. Skeletal system effects. You can improve your skeletal system by doing weight-bearing activities or weight training or pounding activities. Plyometrics would be a good one. Increase in bone calcium stores. Increase in bone calcium stores. Your skeletal system responds to exercise by taking in more calcium. Osteoblasts are cells that bring calcium into bones. Osteoblasts slow down and transport less calcium from your blood to your bones during inactivity, but exercise has the opposite effect and increases the osteoblastic activity. Exercise requires force through a particular bone strengthens the bone. Exercise helps you increase the density, strength of your bones, especially exercising regularly during the first 3 decades of life. Increase stretch and ligaments. When you exercise, the range of movement in your ligaments connect bone to bone, increases and enables you to move your bones easier and more flexibly. There is also some evidence that long-term stretching has a role in decreasing osteotentosis injury. When playing rugby, it's very important to stretch the muscles before and after each session to aid a quicker recovery and also helps prevent injuries. Increased thickness of hyaline cartilage. Hyaline cartilage is the cartilage that covers the ends of the bones. It is also called articular cartilage. It will become thicker with regular exercise. It is the most common type of cartilage in the body. Protects the bones from wear and tear and at the end of the joints and provides shock absorption, such as between the vertebrae. Ligaments and tendons are both increasing flexibility. With regular exercise, this means stronger joints and more powerful muscular contraction. Increased production in synovial fluid. Synovial fluid is a fluid which is created through synovial membrane. This liquid lubricates the joints and the body to make them more movable. When resting after a high intensity training session, the joints in your body become stiff from lack of synovial joints. You have synovial fluid which makes the joints freely movable, which increases your flexibility. For example, if a warm-up was taking place before a game of sport, say football or rugby, the warm will not just increase your heart rate but makes the synovial fluid lubricate so the joints that When the game of football or rugby is taking place, your flexibility is at its maximum. Cardiovascular system effects. Cardiac hypertrophy, which is the heart, the thickening of the heart muscle, which will result in a decrease in the size of the chamber of the heart, including the left and the right ventricles. To relate this to cardiac system, it means the increase in the size of a heart. A common cause of cardiac hypertrophy is high blood pressure, which will come with hard training. When the rugby players train at a high intensity, hypertrophy occurs as a response to an increased level of stress on the heart. The left ventricle has thickened to allow the heart to contract with more force to stop blood being pumped out per beat. Increase in stroke volume. Stroke volume is measured in milliliters per beat. During physical activity, stroke volume can increase 60 to 110 millimeters, depending on the intensity of the workout the participant is doing. Stroke volume of a person will be higher if you have been training than someone who has not been training. This increase in stroke volume also leads to higher cardiac output than a non-trained exerciser. This increase in the cardiac output during exercise increasing stroke volume to a higher cardiac output than long-term exercise in the size of the heart. This increase in size increases the athlete's stroke volume. As a result of increased stroke volume, cardiac hypertrophy, the wrist and heart rate decreases. Increased cardiac output. Cardiac output is the volume of blood being pumped out of the heart by the left or right ventricle in time of interval of 1 minute. It is equal to the stroke volume times the heart rate. Cardiac output equals stroke volume times heart rate. That's the equation. The total volume of the blood in the circulatory system of an average person is about 5 litres, 5,000 millilitres. The heart rate decreases after a long-term exercise because of exercise increases stroke cardiac hypertrophy. The heart becomes bigger and can pump more blood per beat, and it doesn't have to beat as often when the body is at rest. But cardiac output decreases only slightly following long-term exercise. During maximal exercise, cardiac output increases. This is a result of an increase in stroke volume and heart rate and remains unchanged with training. Increase in blood volume. Endurance exercise such as jogging, swimming and cycling increases your blood volume over time. Blood volume adaptations begin after a single bout of exercise and amplify within weeks of training. Enhanced blood volume, the amount of blood circulating in the body, and varies from person to person and can increase as a result of training. Capillarization is the cause of the increase. This means the blood will flow easier and enhances delivery to the O2 working muscles. Reduction in blood pressure. The fitter you are, the lower your resting BP. Normal resting BP values to 120 to 80. Even minor increases can cause a result in increased risk of heart attacks or strokes. Therefore, regular exercise/rugby training can help maintain healthy BP and could prevent health complications in the future. Decrease recovery time. Heart rate recovery is how much your heart rate falls during or after exercise. The cardiovascular system can be trained through regular exercises. Recovery time is important in any training program because this takes place, the body adapts to stress and the effects of real training effect take place. Recovery also allows the body to replenish energy stores and repair damaged tissue. Exercise causes changes in the body such as muscle tissue, breakdown of depletion of energy stores. Increase aerobic fitness. To improve aerobic fitness, you may go out for a run once. Doing this for 3 to 4 times a week, around 45 minutes to an hour, will definitely boost your fitness levels. Last a whole 80-minute and help you last a whole 80-minute rugby match at a high intensity. To help you stick to this, it would be a good idea to create your own training program for your exercise so it's more specific and specificity. As well as exercising, you should also be eating the right foods, which enables you to train and perform better. Whilst doing this for several weeks, your heart rate will be used to pumping more blood faster and bigger amounts of the working muscles because your heart will be more developed. VO2 max rates, these improve as a main indicator of improved endurance. Energy system effects, increase aerobic and anaerobic enzymes. If you train aerobically, you can increase your activity of oxidative enzymes so you can produce more energy from your food. This is better as they have more energy in the game and last for a long time without getting fatigue. increase use of fats as an energy source. You will create more fats when you exercise to be used as an energy source, sort of like an emergency source once you've used all your other energy sources and they've been used up. Thanks for listening.